Hello and welcome to Capital Online TV. I am Anita Nderu and these are the stories making headlines. Uhuru Kenyatta arrived in the Netherlands in time for Wednesday's status conference on his ICC case. Reports from Amsterdam say Kenyatta arrived at the Schiphol International Airport accompanied by his wife Margaret, his daughter Ngina and leaders who went with him. He is accompanied by Cabinet Secretaries Michael Kamau, Charity Ngilu and Phyllis Kindie, as well as 6 MPs and senators. At the Schiphol Airport, Kenyatta and his small entourage were received by the Kenyan ambassador to the Netherlands, Makenda Mushiri, as well as some members of his legal team who escorted him to The Hague. He travelled as a private citizen to attend the status conference, not in his capacity as president, after handing over power temporarily to his deputy, William Ruto. He is required to be present in court for the status conference of his case, which has faced numerous hurdles after the prosecution accused the Kenyan government of failing to cooperate. Earlier today, there was a deadlock at the International Criminal Court in The Hague as the prosecution and the Kenyan government locked horns with counter-accusations over the level of cooperation in Kenyatta's case. Whereas the Kenyan government maintains that it has fully cooperated, the prosecution says it is yet to receive 8 classified materials it requires to tighten the case. During the status conference, Attorney General Githu told the judges that the government is finding it difficult to meet the prosecution's demands, some of which contradict the Kenyan laws. Benjamin Gumpert for the prosecution told the court that the Kenyan government has provided partial information that is not useful in its case, in which Kenyatta is accused of bearing responsibility in the 2008 post-election violence. He says the prosecution has hit a deadlock as it expects no more useful information to prosecute Kenyatta, who stepped down temporarily to attend the status conference in The Hague on Wednesday.
I can put it this way, somewhat stuck in the thickets of the argument between ourselves and the Kenyan government about matters like practicality of consulting the land registry or the company's registry.
We have an investigation team and a prosecutor who has come to you repeatedly and said, we are ready to proceed with the case. In his speech before you, he said, we have critical information. Critical information. He now says they've never had it and they would like the Kenya government to help them to find it, because the Kenya government must be assumed to keep a register of phones used by cabinet ministers. There is no offer of evidence that Mr. Kenyatta's phone was a phone assigned to him as a cabinet minister. This is the sort of circumlocucious argumentation that we have heard, that we are saying to you is not useful.
Your Honours came to the conclusion that in fact there are alternative methods. Let me stress, not unlawful methods or extrajudicial methods. I'm not talking about a Watergate break-in here. I'm talking about consulting government lists of telephone numbers. I'm talking about consulting registers of public office holders' interests, the sort of alternative approaches which have been widely canvassed both by the bench and by the prosecution.
And back in Kenya, Acting President William Ruto spent the better part of the day in meetings at Harambee House as he took charge of the country in Uhuru Kenyatta's absence. The acting president first met Head of Public Service Joseph Kinyua for a routine briefing in the morning before he met Cabinet Secretary for Information, Communication and Technology Fred Matiang'i. The acting president then held a meeting with Kenyan National High Commission for UNESCO officials led by Dr. Evangeline Joka, who briefed him on preparations to celebrate 50 years of UNESCO in Kenya. The meeting was also attended by officials from the Education Ministry headquarters in Nairobi. And finally, Kisumu Governor Jack Ranguma has honoured summons to appear before the Senate Public Accounts and Investments Committee to answer audit query questions. Ranguma says his change of heart was not because he was cowed by the implications of disregarding the summons, but because he is a law-abiding citizen. Ranguma added that he chose to appear before the committee to clear the misguided opinion that governors were requesting for more money, yet they had refused to account for what was issued to them in the previous financial year. The committee chaired by Kakamega Senator Boni Khalwale also learned that the county was in the process of recovering money that was irregularly paid to county executives.
We are going to allow senators to ventilate a little bit before we make a ruling.
And that's what we had for you today. For the latest on these and other stories, log on to www.capitalfm.co.ke/TV. I'm Anita Ndero.